All right, huge movie fanatics coming back at you for the actual, at this point in time, for the last Friday 13th Jason movie that exists. Friday 13th, 2009. That's basically how I refer to it as. And I gotta tell you, this is what. So I keep forgetting how it worked. Yeah. So My Bloody Valentine came out in January, and then this came out Friday, February 13th, 2009.
Yeah, and it was in April, right?
What?
This movie came out in April, correct?
February is February.
Oh, February. You said it was February. Okay.
April.
Right.
Final chapter came out in April.
Oh,
Oh, that's
okay.
the one that they shot in January.
Oh,
It came out
okay.
in-
Yeah, okay. Sorry.
Not a problem. So after seeing, basically some of the remakes, and also very recently My Bloody Valentine 3D, I pretty much knew what to expect. I remember talking to you. About this movie, because there was rumors about that this is like the first three Friday 13th combined.
That's what they were going out publicly saying, and this is a best of mashup of the first three.
And do you know what I told you? I said, okay, if that's the case, then unless this movie's 3 hours long, they're gonna do the part one in the opening credits.
And I was like, they dare not, because like that's the only interesting part of doing a remake is.
And do you know what
Jason's
they did?
mother. Yeah, I know.
They
When
did
I
part
saw that,
one.
I laughed out loud.
Why did you laugh out loud?
Because I was like, this is so ridiculous. He got it spot on, but like, you take the one interesting thing about the Friday the 13th franchise, the forgotten thing, I might add,
Which is
of having the mom be the killer.
Yeah.
If you're doing the remake, make that be and make everybody assume that Jason's going to be the killer. You can even have her in a hockey mask if you want. Have her be the killer.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that the opening covered the entirety of the first movie, which is at arguably the best one. I don't say it is, but arguably it is the best movie of the bunch.
Yeah.
And you diminish it to the
2.5 minutes.
Yeah, not even.
I can remember the first two shots were fine, and I think the first one was like the lake at dusk.
Yeah.
Second one was a push in on Camp Crystal Lake sign. The third shot, when it happened, I was like, this is gonna suck. It was like the girl running, music comes up, rainy, just the generic frickin' camp culture. Also, this takes place, I guess, in 1980.
1980, yeah.
Right.
Which I thought was kind of cool. I
Yeah.
will admit that was neat.
Because that was either on the first or the second shot. Probably the first one where it was like the lake and it said like 1980, and I'm like, oh boy. Second shot, pushed it on the sign. By 15 seconds in, it was like the girl running, why are you doing this? Come here. And that stupid woman they got to do, Mrs. Voorhees, come here now. And it's just like, I couldn't believe it. It was so theatrical and so stupid. It was so fake. If you take, like I say, the thing I love so much about the first Friday 13th is how it's just like real world, reality, realistic, normal. And this is like completely, just totally, this is what I hate about a lot of movies now, just the music video, over stylized, stupid, phony aspect, video game aspect. And it was just so stupid. And I hated that opening thing. And it's like, so they have the little thing, she decapitates him. I swear to God, if you watch the movie, the shot where she actually decapitates her, she'll swing, and then I think they freeze the frame for like a moment before they either cut to black or whatever the hell they do. The counselor, I swear to God, she's smiling as she's swinging it.
Every minute!
And then they freeze on it for like a half of a second or something. It's so funny. It's so stupid. Whatever his name is, who did this? What's his name? Just
He has a
screwed
really
it up.
stupid name.
Yeah, well, he's
Sorry.
German or something.
Yeah.
I mean, your name's fine, but I completely just couldn't believe it. I was so distraught. I mean, I didn't expect anything, but it was worse than I could have ever imagined. Because I remember thinking, because I'm seeing images, and it's like for a while, because they did do one thing I have to give it props for, is for the first time since the second one, actually acknowledging that Jason ever did wear a sack.
And he still looked the creepiest when he was wearing the sack in this movie.
Right. But I again, the sack or whatever the hell he's got on his head in this is way over, and this is my problem with this movies now, is way over production design. It's like, it looks like some kind of a mummy shroud, some kind of mummy shroud or something they're putting over his freaking head. I don't know what it looks like. I'm running out of gas. Take it from here.
Star
1.5. It doesn't deserve it,
Oh,
but
no, it doesn't.
but there's aspects that I like. Mainly, I don't know what. Doesn't deserve it.
The movie I'm gonna give 0 stars. This is the worst Friday the 13th movie, and I told you that to you when you first saw it.
You told
Like when I first
when you first saw it.
Like yeah, when I first saw it. Because you'd come back to me and you said, "Wow, that movie was just oh god, it's so bad," and I was like, "Huh, well." He's a hardcore fan. I'm not. So if they fuck up the timeline, you know what? That's fine by me. I really don't care.
Timeline.
Like the chronology of events,
Oh.
like everything. Like I'm not a purist, so it doesn't bother me whatsoever
I don't give a shit about that.
if they fuck anything up. But so I was like. He doesn't like movies anymore, so
I don't like new movies.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he doesn't like new movies. I do. I still like.
I mean,
movies.
I like everyone every now and then, one a year maybe.
Yeah, I know that's shocking.
The first movie I saw this year was Avengers. That was the first movie I saw in the theaters since Mission Impossible. Continue.
So anyway, so I was like, well, I'll see it, and so much so that because you said it came out on like Friday the 13th, I guess the week and a half leading up to it, I saw Friday the 13th, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Freddy vs. Jason. And then I never saw it in the theater. I was going to, and then it just didn't happen. I think I was working that night, and then I was trying to get fiance to go, and she's like, I am not watching that
Girlfriend
movie.
at the time.
Girlfriend at the time, and she's like, I am not watching that movie. And I was like, yeah, I don't blame you. So we didn't see it, and I waited until it came out to video free in the store, thankfully. And I saw it, and wow,
Nate was right again.
Bad. It is the worst Friday the 13th movie. The characters are so unlikable.
I don't know if maybe I have to go. The more you talk about it, the more my star rating is
Like
plummets.
the characters are just so unlikable. The worst scene is when the dude's having sex with the girl and he's like, "Oh, excellent nipple placement." Like, what kind of a fucking douchebag? Like, what? This girl should have just beat the shit out of him.
Perfect
right there.
nipple placement, baby.
Yeah, like she should have just offed him right there. Made the movie a bit about her. That would have been a little more interesting. Had her conflict with Jason. That would have been kind of cool. I don't know. The movie was terrible. The only reason to remake this movie, if you're going to remake the Halloween, do it from the other side, the other point of view.
Shit.
They did it, and some people love it or hate it. It exists, and it is what it is, and it's memorable for what it is. The only reason to make Friday the 13th is everybody has forgotten that Jason's mother's the killer.
Oh, yeah, right.
Make them remember, and make them remember well. They ignored that entirely. Except for the first scene in the movie, which is cut up and intercut with credits, so you can really not even tell what's going on.
You can't even tell it's shot in that stupid we're drunk cameraman way.
Yeah, the movie is like this half the time, which is really dumb. I do like the Jason's running, I guess.
Oh yeah, that was a big deal.
But yeah, a lot of people hated that. But I am a fan of the running Jason. The mask looks stupid. The characters, the stupid stoner guy that he steals the mask from, it was just so dumb. It was like, we need to put weed in this movie because so the kids are like.
That's one thing I hate about it.
It's so bad. Michael Bay walked out of the movie saying like, all this is a glorified porno. I think that was his quote or something like that. It's online if you can read it. But like, even Michael Bay has turned his back on this movie, and the motherfucker produced it. Like, I mean, come on. This movie's bad, and it has the Platinum Dooms. Let's make everything yellow. That's how to make cinema. Like, I don't know. It is really bad. This is the worst of all the remake movies I've seen. Almost. Yeah. I'm gonna say definitively, this is the worst of all the remake movies. Because there's no reason for it. The best of clip show of all the things is really not even there.
The kills are
so bad.
Boring than they ever were in any of even the old
There's
movies.
not even a single moment of like, what's going to happen? No, you're just sitting there the whole time like this. And in the other Jason movies, after probably around the second one, they got to that point too, but at least something interesting was going on in every one of them.
You know, with like Friday the 13th Part 6, you get the energy, and even 7 and stuff like that. The energy that's there, you feel like the filmmakers are so passionate and so caring and care so much about making this as much of a impactful experience as possible. You look at the remake and it's just like
It's yawn. Like it's like that was the worst movie that year.
They killed that Asian guy. I don't know if you remember. They killed him in that whatever the hell it is garage with the frickin' screwdriver in his the screwdriver in his throat or in his neck or whatever. It's just like. I mean, it's happening and funny, but there's absolutely no emotional
and here's
response.
The thing,
you don't even care. It's not cool.
No,
it's not tragic. It's just
the movie
stupid.
even had people that I really like in it. The lead gentleman is from Supernatural, and like he is such a great actor. If you ever watch Supernatural, the show itself is either love it or hate it, dismissible. Nobody can argue that he is not a phenomenal actor. He is so good. Anybody who's watched the show will tell you that, even if they don't like it. He is a great actor. And what does he do in this? Stiff dialogue.
No, I gotta do it. I did it in another review. He goes,
The fuck, you got a gun?
"You got a gun?"
Yeah, like it's so bad, so bad. And then the girl in it, not the girl that he's trying to save. She actually was in the Avengers, but her scenes were cut.
Oh shit!
She was she was in Captain America. Actually, she's the redhead who shows up at the end when he's like, "I've heard this radio before," and then he gets up and bolts out. She was the Shield agent.
Daniel.
No, not her.
Who are we talking about?
The one with the.
Oh, the
who
one
was,
who
he was trying to save.
That's
his
another
sister.
thing that's so goddamn stupid. The underground lair. And
the girl in the lair. She was she's
God.
from Captain America and the Avengers, but her scene was cut. Danielle Pennebaker or something like that. I can't remember. She's really good. I really liked her.
She's kind of cute, but she's so stupid in the movie.
She's terrible in the movie. She could have almost redeemed her part of the movie just because she is kind of really likable. But man, even this, she was bad. And I really like her. She was great in Sky High. She was excellent in Mr. Brooks. Both movies, if you haven't seen them, check them out. She is great in both of them. So like, it has so many people that I actually like.
And it just reduces them to just
Nothing.
quivering flabs of flesh.
Yeah, nothing. And the whole movie was just such a joke. Like 0 stars. There's. I was so disappointed, and this, as I say, this is the worst of all the remake movies. This before this, probably I think the worst remake movie I'd ever seen might have been King Kong, the 1976.
We'll have to review all 3 of those.
Okay. But yeah, like this one is just like so much worse than that. I
don't know why. Yeah.
Leaps and
well,
bounds.
the reason I gave it 1.5 is because
you saw it again right
lowest.
before I saw it, and you were like, it isn't quite as bad as I remember. There are parts that I can appreciate. It's outside again, and I was like,
well, see, I'm trying to grasp onto the
qualities
because Jason, because we haven't seen a Jason movie in the woods since Part 7.
Yeah.
So I guess I was trying to grasp on any.
Yeah, I could tell too, and I was like, really? So then I saw the movie and I was like, no, that was so bad.
To me, it's not Jason. I don't know what it is. It's just generic, stupid Michael Bay.
They have
beautiful people.
They touched on who Jason was a little bit in Freddy vs. Jason, but like from Jason 9, 10, and this, like they're none of those are Jason, and even the one in the 8th one really isn't Jason because he's goofy too.
What's so funny, and we talked about this in one of the other reviews, is that what's so funny about I don't think it's in the theatrical cut, but in the killer cut, which is at the very beginning when Jason, right after Jason's mom gets decapitated, then young Jason walks out of the woods and grabs the machete. And it's like, maybe if he would have walked out sooner, they could have just been like, "Oh, I don't have any beef with you, counselor.
Yeah, she's
have
like,
a nice day."
My boy, he's back!
Well, it's just so stupid.
Well, they could have even played it like Jason never died. She just wanted to get vengeance on the bullies. Like, they could have done something with that, played with that idea. No.
I just couldn't believe how stupid.
No, it was so bad. And I think there is a way to remake the first Friday the 13th to make it doable, likable, and enjoyable.
But you think people would actually be okay with seeing The mother being the killer? I mean,
If you imply that it's Jason all the way through, because nobody can argue against that's not Friday the 13th because it is.
Well, yeah, because that's what the first one was.
That's what the first one was.
My only question is, the only thing is that the kids and
You could even do it like Jason Goes to Hell if you want and see like Jason in the windows and stuff like that.
the reflection.
Yeah.
My only question with that is that everyone associates Jason with Friday the 13th, and I'm not so sure that now people would.
You could here's what you do: you make a trilogy movie, like just have like you could even do it Pete Jackson style, film all three at once, and do part one be the first movie, part two follow Jason's storyline, somehow introduce him. Maybe he didn't die, kind of thing, and she wants the vengeance, and it's a mother-son team-up kind of thing, and like. I mean, there's a way you can do this and make it work, and still make it true to the character, true to the origin, but also somewhat new and interesting in a way, in a light that we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Even do it your prequel idea, seeing what actually happened to him to make her so bitter and angry.
Well, there's so much greatness because whenever I watch the first one, I always hear characters say stuff like, like things going on at Crystal Lake after her son drowned, like the fires and the water went bad and stuff like that, where there's things that you could do in a prequel movie that it's just like, and also like Steve Christie, the guy who's fixing up the camp, there's some kind of relation to the, some kind of tie with the Voorhees family. You could almost say that maybe a Christie is Jason's father, if you wanted to go that route or something like that.
Maybe he was one of the original camp counselors.
Yeah, I mean, you could make up all kinds of stuff.
He was the one having sex when.
Yeah, the great thing is the first one, if you just listen to what characters say about like the lore of the camp, they say so many interesting things that almost, you could really go in as a writer and build something around what they say.
Yeah, exactly. Like this movie it didn't
This movie didn't care about anything.
They wanted to make another Jason.
Placement.
Another nipple placement. They wanted just another Jason movie, probably to secure their rights. Or they were going to lose him or something
like that, probably.
I don't know.
But why do they want the rights? Just so they can screw up later.
So that if, for whatever reason, they do want to do another Freddy vs. Jason, because that movie made bank.
I'm surprised that a sequel didn't come out.
There was one written, and it's available in comic book form.
Oh.
Bruce Campbell didn't want to do it. It was Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, and that was the script that was written, and it was great. I read it, and it focused so much more on Jason's side of things.
Oh, hell.
It took place during Camp Crystal Lake in the winter, and Ash got transferred from Michigan to where Camp Crystal Lake is at S-Mart as the functioning manager there. But his true reason for going is because he heard that at Crystal Lake there was a book, the last remaining of the three that you see in Army of Darkness.
Oh, hell.
That he apparently, in between the first movie where he burns the first one, and in some fictional universe, he found the second one and destroyed that one. The third one was still there, and that was in Jason's house, and that's why he was a Deadite. And so Jason, that's why he keeps coming back, and he's unkillable.
Oh, okay.
So Ash went to retrieve it, and Freddy was in perpetual purgatory, stuck in Jason's head because he tried to enter him into a nightmare, but he couldn't. His thing is he can't escape from Jason. So Freddy's being tortured by the nightmare that is Jason, and Jason's constantly being tortured by Freddy. So Freddy,
I'm lost.
It's confusing, but this would have been kind of it would have been so fun. And then Freddy finds a way to manipulate Ash into the fight against Jason, because if he strikes down Jason, Freddy's free, and Freddy gives Ash a nightmare where he wakes up and he's in the cabin again, and his hand is back, but his hand starts attacking him and he has to cut it off again. And
Jesus.
And all this stuff, but this is just his nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
And the hand then that is cut off grows the nails, the Freddy nails, and starts hacking at Ash and stuff like that.
Oh, Lordy.
Like, this is great, and the best part. The best part of the whole thing was when Freddy does escape and gets a hold of the Book of the Dead, and he unleashes like a hell on earth. And his hell on earth was he brought everybody into a nightmare state. He brought the dreamscape into the reality. So Jason's striking down people left and right because he's having his nightmares that his victims don't die and they just keep coming. So he's trying to strike them down. But Ash who's trying to stop everything, encounters the little girls playing jump rope.
Yeah.
The 1, 2, and then Ash has a fight with 3 4-year-old girls, fist fights with them, and he's just beating the shit out of these girls who are like stabbing him, and, choking him with like. That was so cool. I would have died to see that movie. That would have been even more of my teenage wet dream.
Thanks a lot, Bruce.
Yeah, but Bruce didn't want to do it, and I guess I understand why. But that was cool. You can read it. It is available in comic book form. Just Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash is the title of the comic. They have a sequel comic to that one because they had they had 2 sequels after Freddy vs. Jason. And one was Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash, and then they had one that definitively would have ended the franchise. But I don't know. I haven't read that part yet, so I don't know.
I think
how
a
the
great
story
title
ends.
would have been Freddy vs. Jason Round 2.
Round 2. I thought Freddy vs. Jason should have been called A Nightmare on Friday the 13th. That was the title I was dying for. But they probably wisely said just call it Freddy vs. Jason. But yeah.
So we kind of branched off.
Yeah, we talked about much better movies.
Ideas.
Ideas that never came to fruition.
Unfortunately,
That
it's
so
always
much more
good
entertaining.
ideas often that never
Yeah.
actually end up getting made.
I guess they could have recast Ash and it might have been kind of
I just thought of that. Yeah, I was just thinking to myself, well, if Bruce doesn't want to do it, he was kind of old then anyway, older. But whatever. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
yeah.
Well, there you have it. So, just a disaster. Thanks for watching.